Once upon a time, there lived a land of people who had forgotten how to tell stories. Now in that land of no story land, people just answered the questions in monosyllables, a yes or a no. After all, an explanation requires a story. And this story of these people who just said mere yes or no sadly petered down to a mere nod. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen.
Good evening.
Many times we know the rest of the story except the story. If you look into the history of inventions and discoveries, you'll find a long list of them. The Archimedes principle, the Newton's law, the 3 buttons on your coat sleeve, the jeans you wear, and the first human flight. Now take all of these cases of inventions and discoveries, you'll find that there is a story behind it. But somewhere along the line, we have missed to give these persons their due and acknowledge them by not telling or retelling the stories to the coming generations. Because somehow we felt there was no need to do so. Maybe it's because of our inflated egos, or maybe because we felt it was too childish to do so. But we never understood the fact that by doing so, we have stopped our minds from being creative and letting our minds go into the imaginative zone, which can color the canvas of our mind with myriad of colors. We forgot about it because we thought it was not necessary to do so. But in the bargain, what has happened is we have killed the child in us, the childlike curiosity, which helps us to develop our minds and be more creative. Now, as students of communication who we have assembled here, we need to remember one thing. A story is the backbone of every form of communication. The best example I could give is the last campaign for the US presidential election. The person who came on the stage and said, "This is my story and this is your story. And this is where our aspirations meet and it becomes our story." And that's how we happen to connect with the audience. And that could translate that into words. And he won the contest. Now you know, such is the power of story. It can carry to such an extent. But we have missed on it. Because that is the main thing which connects as a bridge between the speaker and the listener. But one thing we got to remember is, our story needs to be unforgettable, believable. Then only it gets set in the minds of the audience. Now this is a very vast subject. One can go on and on. But here, if I stand and do that, I would be doing a great injustice to our honorable guest who is here to give us a session on storytelling. And we have a twist in the tail and a blog program lined up. So without taking much time of yours, I would be calling upon a person who will take this meeting forward. A person who wears a childlike smile, a software engineer by profession. He works for HP, but never under high pressure. But his wife says he's a doting father when he's at home, with a new bundle of joy, the son. Now without further much ado, I would like to call upon the Toastmaster of the day, the immediate past president, Mr. Sanjay Hazar.
Thank you, Mr. President. There's a story that goes even before World War II. And that story has brought us together and captivated the imagination of young and old alike. Fellow Toastmasters, guests, good evening.
Good evening.
The story took place way back in 1924, when young men and women were afraid to raise the toast, even if their best and the beloved got married. It seemed that besides the tying the wedding knot, all the other relatives, including the parents, were afraid to rise up and give a toast